So, on the grid now then, and we start to see the cars forming up. There's Nicholas Carladal starting on the front row of the grid in the very light blue, the baby blue and white car. And then Peter Shilcock for the second time tonight, starting on reverse grid pole in the light blue and red colours. Garen Batten in the purple car alongside James Caswell in the yellow and black car, and Anil Singh in the bright pink colours. Then Alex Van Gien, who normally would be in his red and blue colours, although not seeing those at the moment. I hope you are. Mark Greenhow in the green and white car. They'll all be aiming towards the first corner. Shilcock on pole position for the second time tonight and leads the field away again. He's got a better start than he did last time around. Once again, it's the second place car who tries to draw alongside. Not quite as good a start as Wood in the previous race, and Batten trying to find his way through as well. And he has found his way into second place, and Anil Singh followed him through as well. So Shilcock firing it into the first corner as Batten trying to get around the outside and claim the lead. A couple of cars off in the back of the field, but mostly cleanly away as Shilcock and Batten side by side, and Batten has drawn clear and taken the lead of the race. And looks like Dobertsberger has gone for a spin out of Aintree, unfortunate for him, as Anil Singh goes down the inside and takes second place. And Mark Greenhow is the next car in the queue to try and round. Oh, he's tagged Shilcock into the film. That's taken out Alex Van Gien. So that's destroyed any chances that Van Gien had of trying to get onto the podium tonight. Oh, and Anil Singh's gone round as well. He's collected David Hatton. It's absolute drama down at Luffield.
Eyes on Danny Henney though. He is managing to negotiate it well. He's been very similar to how we saw last race. He has been very, very close on occasions to getting himself into trouble, but he's steering mostly out of them and not really getting too caught up, which is exactly what he wants to do and what he'll need to do. Get through this lap cleanly, and then, like he said, get his head down and then see where he is, and then start picking them off when he gets a bit further up.
Greenhow wide on the exit of Chapel, and that's really brought his pace down. He's got the slowdown penalty, and that's put Tim Ellis up into second place. We saw Dronsberg going for a spin on the exit of Chapel as well. So with 2.5 seconds up to Garen Batten in the lead, this is Tim Ellis's best chance at a race win he's had all season. Despite being the championship leader, he has only one podium finish to his name and no race victory just yet. So Garen Batten comes across the line, 2.5 seconds clear of the championship leader, Tim Ellis, at the end of lap 1. Nicholas Carladal has got Colin Ward for very close company in the battle for third place as they go side by side. Now Ward's move down the inside there was much more successful than the one he tried to put on Shilcock at the start of race 2. John Langen closing in behind them. Then Lucas Raskovich, John Lang, Danny Henney up into 8th place already from 20th on the grid. Mark Greenhow surviving after that slowdown penalty in 9th place, and Kyle Power completes the top 10.
Oh, Danny Henney just spinning out. I don't know. I don't think he was clipped. I don't know entirely what's gone on there. Just spinning out. I think he's probably lost about 4 positions. He has to get back on now and just regain that mindset.
He's tumbling down the order. He's down in 22nd place now. So that's a disaster for him, and he's got to do the work all over again. And now with one less lap to do it in. So the battle for third place still raging on as Carladal's trying to find a way back through on Colin Ward. Langen, Raskovich and Lang all waiting in the wings to pick up the pieces. We'll definitely be keeping a close eye on that lead gap. It's still 2.5 seconds. And well, I must say, Batten has been incredibly fast this week. That's certainly one of his better showings in the Missed Apex esports arena. But we would expect Tim Ellis to start to close down that gap, and he has done by 0.3 of a second in the middle sector. But for third place, wow, there's only about a second covering these 5 cars. There's John Lang, was the ultimate defender in the previous race, now trying to be the ultimate attacker as he gets down the inside of Raskovich, but Raskovich having none of it. Trying to sneak it down the inside, but Lang's through, breaking down the outside for the Bale Chicane, and that is 6th place for the number 48 car. Now watch out, because Carl Power waiting in the wings, and he's only 0.8 of a second behind them. So he could well end up on the podium again. Another strong start for Luca Harrison. He's up in 10th place as well, just in front of Richard Spanner's ready.
I was just about to say that. The pressure will be on Harrison, though, to make sure this is a clean race for him. This will be the first race, and then if he can finish, it'll be the first race of the night that he'll finish. And he'll want to make sure that happens.
Yep, he's had 2 incidents in 2 races so far tonight. The first while in 2nd place, trying to chase down Danny Henney. The second while he was making his way through the order in race 2 very late on in the day.
It must be so gutting to have that happen. In the very last lap of that race, he won't want that to happen again. He will be watching, he'll be making sure that he doesn't get himself into trouble again.
Spanners and Basso side by side through Woodcote, and it's Basso going through for 12th place. Elbows out Spanners there. He's definitely holding his own out there tonight.
I'm loving this aggression from Spanners. This is exactly what we want to see.
So the battle for 3rd place now making their way through Maggots and Beckett's, and Carl Liddell has just dropped off the back of Colin Ward actually. He's gapped him by about 1.1 seconds as they head down the Hanger Straight, and so Carl Liddell now has to focus his attention on the 2 Johns behind him, annoyingly similarly surnamed Langen and Lang. As Lang tries to get around the outside of Stowe, and he's going to make contact as Langen moved across, and they're both off. Lang having to go across the old chicane there, got a very wobbly front wing, and he may well have to come into the pits and get that repaired. And Langen has completely lost his front end, and so he will definitely have to come into the pits. I think he's about to find out the hard way how little front grip he's got through, Abby. So that's brought a bit of breathing space, but Power for 6th place, for 5th I should say now, is getting up the inside of Raskovitz and has made his way through. So he's a big beneficiary in that, as he inherited 2 places and now makes one up on Lucas Raskovitz. And Greenhow, the next man in the queue down the Wellington Straight, and towards the inside he goes. Greenhow, we haven't seen, he's been very quick, but we haven't seen it really turn into results so far tonight, and hopefully it will do so in this race 3 as he makes his way past Raskovitz, and Luca Harrison and Alexander Dobbelsberger just behind them. Up at the front of the field, that gap has come down to 1.5 seconds now. Tim Ellis was 0.8 of a second quicker than Batten last time around, so we will continue to monitor how that unfolds. But meanwhile, 5th place, Kyle Power has still got Greenhow for close company, and actually it'll be probably Harrison, the next man to make the moves, as he's planning to round up Raskovitz down the Hanger Straight with a very nice exit out of Chapel. Tucked right up in the slipstream, heading up towards the fastest point on the track, and with the slipstream be well over 250 kilometers an hour, breaking down into Stowe. Nicely done for Luca Harrison, as we say, needs to get a clean race under his belt tonight.
Henney is working his way up fairly well, but it is so much more difficult to gain places than it is at the start of the race. He's just about getting there, but it's going to be so much harder for him now than it would have been 3 or 4 laps ago.
Absolutely. I mean, you can take advantage of it at the start when everybody's bunched together, but after that first lap, the gaps are already forming as Dobbelsberger in 8th place throws one up the inside of Lucas Raskovitz, and there was nothing that Raskovitz could do about that. And now Dobbelsberger in that black and white Ace of Space car is going to try and make a move on Harrison. Harrison moves over to the left-hand side, and so he's going to have to go the long way round Brooklands, and Harrison forcing him back over to the outside and holds his ground. This battle going on for 7th place at the moment.
Henney right in the mirrors of Alex Van Geen, fighting over that 13th position. He'll get back into the top 10, but it's how far he can then work his way up from there.
Two very good friends about to go wheel to wheel there between Danny and Van Geen, who have both had their dramas so far this race. Now Kyle Power in 5th place, looks like he's about to line up Nicholas Carladal for 4th place, and they've actually got some lap traffic to work their way through now. I think that's Matt Trumpets, who is unfortunately a lap down. Yes, it is. They're about to make their way past him down the hangar straight. Moves out the way sensibly, and Power with the inside line for Stowe is going to put himself up into 4th place now. And now the question will be, with 5 laps still to run, can Power close down that 2-second gap to Colin Ward and put himself on the podium for the 2nd time tonight? Just update you on the front of the field once again. Ellis was only a 10th quicker last time around. They both put in their personal bests on that lap just now, but the gap now 1.2 seconds. So Ellis not taking out as much on Baton on that previous tour. Harrison and Dobbertsberger going wheel to wheel again for 7th place, as Dobbertsberger fancied his way through at Village. And looks like we could have some side-by-side into Brooklands once again. And just like the last lap, Harrison covers the inside and getting a little close for comfort down the straight. And Dobbertsberger still cannot make that outside line work for him.
Henny has launched an attack down the inside of Van Gien and is now behind Spanners. And we know what Spanners has been like tonight. He's not going to make it easy, is he?
Maybe against Henny is the exception, but Dobbertsberger definitely making things difficult for Harrison as he tries to get up the inside of Copse Corner, and Harrison very strategically choosing to push the track limits there. So he's taken one of his X's and trying to keep that place, and that is something the top guys will be doing. Perfectly legal, so long as you don't do it too many times. Oh, and Dobbertsberger coming to crop road. The grass there actually may well get the slowdown penalty for that. If he is, he's doing it very, very slowly, but he's letting Raskovitz back through in doing so. And for 5th place, Carladal has just... Oh no, Greenhow! I was about to say Greenhow was lining up a move on Carladal as he went deep into the Verge chicane, but Greenhow's dropped it. So once again, the pace not quite turning into the results for Mark Greenhow, unfortunately, tonight.
That does put Harrison into the position he was in at the end of the last race when it all went so wrong for him.
So he can still stand to improve as he's only 2/3 of a second behind Carladal now on lap 7 of 10. And Ellis, well, that gap is now under 1 second as they come through Luffield. He was about 1/10.5 quicker on that previous lap. Still Power trying to find his way. Well, Power's brought down the gap to Ward for the podium already. Only 1/3 of a second behind him now, so surely it's a matter of when, not if, he makes his way back onto the rostrum. And just behind them, Harrison and Carladal about to go wheel to wheel as well, as Harrison goes very, very wide again out of Copse. Really pushing his luck out there is Luca, actually. May well incur the wrath of the stewards at some point, but so far so good, as Power tucked up right underneath Colin Ward now for 3rd place. And Ward hugging that inside line. Can Power make it around the outside work? It's a lot easier to do than most corners, and actually he has, and he keeps it within the confines of the racetrack as well, and Ward's got nothing to answer for that. So Power makes his way onto the podium and is set to score his 2nd podium finish of the night.
Henny's made his way past Spanners, so his next target will be Williams.
Yeah, worth mentioning as well that Harrison did get past Carladal as well for 5th place. And Raskovitz and Dobbertsberger very close behind them as well in 7th and 8th. Dobbertsberger looks like he's going to lunge one down the inside of Village. He is. Can he get it stopped? Just about. Basso waiting in the wings as well. And that's Dobbertsberger up into 7th place, ahead of that very smart classic JPS Lotus inspired livery on Lucas Raskovitz. Now, Tim Ellis has brought the gap down further. It's now 6 or 7/10 of a second as they make their way round Luffield once again. It is 2.5 laps to go And all eyes now can be on the front of the field, as it's just half a second actually now as they head towards Copse. This could be a bit of a showdown finale. Tim Ellis, who has not taken a race win yet so far this season, yet leads the championship, been a very consistent point scorer, but this is the closest he's come to taking a victory so far this season. And look at that, the gap now just 1/3 of a second as they emerge onto the hangar straight. Tucked up right in the slipstream, closing in, not going to be close enough into Stowe. There's going to be 2 laps to go when they cross the stripe. And he's been edging ever closer towards the back of Garen Batten's car since he found himself in second place very early on in this race. That gap was 2.5 seconds when the attack started. It's now just 0.3 of a second with 2 laps to go. And, well, where is Ellis going to pick his moment? How much more of the track he's able to use right up behind him now as Garen has to go defensive. And they're side by side in Village, and Ellis is going to try and go the long way round. He'll have the line on the way into the loop. Batten leaves him plenty of space. And Ellis too tight on the way into the loop there to make that work. But now with the slipstream once again down towards the Wellington Straight. Batten again having to go defensive. Well, now trying to break the slipstream actually as he's weaving across, but eventually chooses that inside line. Ellis again forced to the outside. No way through for him there.
It has not been Harrison's day at all. He's dropped it again and is now back in 12th. It's so difficult to watch after he's put in such a hard graft. He's put in so much hard work getting himself into these positions for it just to be taken away so easily.
Day to forget for Luca Harrison, but for Ellis it could be a day to remember as he's trying to get alongside him towards Maggots and Beckett's after a great run out of Copse corner, but no way through as Garen Batten shuts the door. Only a lap and a bit left to go for these guys, and Batten, all he has to do really, well, I say all he has to do, but if he can just keep defending like this, he may well hang on, but Ellis is going to have to try and pull something out if he wants to take his first win this season. For Batten, it may well be a first win ever in the Missed Apex Motorsport franchise. Down towards the Vale chicane for the penultimate time. They're about to start the final lap. It's going to be Garen Batten versus Tim Ellis for the victory. And Ellis not quite close as he was last time around. That gap is now 0.4 of a second, so may not have the run he needs to challenge him on the way into the village. Although Batten looked a little bit wide into Abbey, and Ellis once again very good under brakes for Village, but not able to get alongside as he was the previous lap. Now that wider line in for the loop may well work better for him this time. Can he get on the power early enough round Aintree for the final time? And Batten once again moving towards the inside. Ellis is going to have to pull something out the bag here if he wants this. Both of these two thoroughly deserving of this victory, but who is it going to be, Batten or Ellis? Ellis once again squeezed out to the curb on the way into Luffield. The line though this time, Batten forced out wide. Has he gone too wide? Is that going to let Ellis through? He's cut across the nose, but it's still very much nose to tail as they head towards Copse corner for the final time. Batten almost making contact with the pit wall there as he tries to defend. Ellis trying to go around the outside. This is incredible racing. Oh, has he just found the line this time into Maggots and Beckett's? He has! Tim Ellis takes the lead of the race on the final lap. Not for the first time in his Missed Apex career. He has a knack of doing so, and with just a few corners to go, Tim Ellis finds himself in the lead of the race, and he is going to deny Garen Batten a maiden victory. But it's going to be Ellis's first of the season unless Batten can find a way through at these final few corners. It's going to be a line-up into Stowe. Might he just have a lunge into the Vale chicane? He doesn't look close enough. He's not going to be close enough. Ellis comes through the final corner. It's going to be a first victory of the season for the championship leader as he regains ground in the championship. It's victory for Tim Ellis. Garen Batten in second place by just 1/3 of a second. What a display those two put on. Kyle Power, his second podium of the night, in third place. Colin Ward in fourth. That's a great result for him. Alexander Dobbetsberger gets up to 5th place. Ishmael Basso, another solid haul of points there in 6th place. Nicholas Carladale, great result for him in 7th. Danny Henny recovered in the end to 8th place. So well done him. Lucas Raskowitz in 9th. And Stephen Williams completes the top 10. What a night. What a night of racing.
Absolutely incredible. Just so good to watch a race as close as that towards the end.
I'm going to see if we can get Tim Ellis in here. I don't think we've ever spoken to him after a race before.
Go and grab him.
Tim, we've dragged you into the commentary box. What a race you and Garen Batten just had.
Yeah, that was amazing. I knew he had really good pace around here from the practice sessions, and so yeah, I knew it was going to be difficult. But
well, that's your first victory of the season, and you certainly had to work hard for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure who wanted it most because yeah, it was really wanted to get a win, but I knew he would as well.
Yeah. All right, well, congratulations on the victory. You put on one heck of a display out there, and we'll see you at the next round.